Alright, I'm going to start this reading. This is part 6. These are just axioms. They're just statements. It's not some sort of me being smart or better than you. These are just words. You can comment in the comment section, like and subscribe. These are only, I like to think of them as MK Ultra passwords, activation words. So we're going to start with the childhood of civilization. The principle of Eros, the body dreams before thought begins. All civilization is the after-image of the body's dream. Repression founds the city. Delight precedes it. Every law is the fossil of a forgotten pleasure. Eros is the grammar of all creation. Its syntax, movement, and excess. Death, its twin, gives the dream its form. What is repressed is never destroyed, it is stored as architecture. The psyche is the map of civilization, the unconscious is a collective archive of forgotten bodies. The museum, the temple, the code, all are repressions written in marble. To study culture is to read the unconscious of the species. To free the unconscious is to let the city remember its play. Every human begins as a divine animal, unseparated, unrepressed. The infant's first cry is the first poem of the species. The child is the philosopher before philosophy, the artist before art. Culture is the residue of interrupted play. Repression is the first education. The adult is the exile. The adult is an exile from his own beginning. Parenthood is the crucible of repression. The mother teaches pleasure, the father teaches prohibition. The household is the prototype of the polis. Reality begins when the mother's breast withdraws. Civilization begins as a trauma of love. Every social institution repeats the loss of the first paradise. The body is not one organ, but a constellation of pleasures. The genital is a later invention, an empire over earlier freedoms. Every perversion is a rebellion of the ancient body against its central government. The infant's world is an anarchy of delight. What the moralist calls sin, the child knows as curiosity. The return of the polymorphous is the return of paradise. Thanks. I'm going to keep going because I really just like to read my own writings. I stopped reading all these books behind me, now I just read my own stuff. The pleasure principle is the origin of all freedom. The reality principle is the shadow cast by the hunger. Hunger and fear. To live by reality is to forget delight. The unconscious is faithful to the pleasure principle. Civilization to the law. The task of culture is reconciliation to make reality pleasurable again. The end of repression is not chaos, but play. Play is the secret name of Eros. Play is the pure act, free of instrument or end. The gods play creation into being. The child repeats their movement without knowing. Work is fallen play. Economy corrupted ritual. Redemption is the recovery of play as ontology. The body is the lost continent of philosophy. To think is to remember the flesh. The intellect is an organ of Eros when it returns to the senses. The mystic and the analyst share a single vocation to awaken the sleeping body. The resurrection is not of the soul, but of sensation. To rediscover the body is to rediscover meaning. Civilization is the body turned against itself. The unconscious is the underside of progress. The market is the erotic game without confession. Money, law, labor are sublimated fantasies of childhood exchange. Every contract hides an infantile wish. Culture will be healed only when its repressions become celebrations. The future of humanity depends on the recovery of its childhood. Work must become play, law, rhythm, thought, sensation. The new politics will be the erotic, or it will not be. The unconscious of the species is waiting to be reanimated. The divine is the return of joy into matter. To become human again, to become a little child playing with eternity. The metaphysics of the body. The body is the first ontology. All other systems are its allegories. Every philosophy is a delayed confession of the flesh. Eros is the energy of being seeking form within matter. The cosmos begins as body dreaming itself into light. Spirit is condensed desire, thought cooled sensation. Metaphysics is anatomy remembered by the soul. Fire, breath, blood, and word, the four modes of Eros. Fire is the erotic principle made visible. Breath, its invisible twin. Blood is fire turned inward. Speech, fire turned into rhythm. Every ritual of purification is disguised physiology. The elements are not outside the body, they are in dispersed memories. To know the world is to recompose the body's elements into song. All true knowledge begins in touch. The mind that forgets touch builds idols. To think is to caress the world with concepts. Reason is eros, translated into grammar. The intellect matures when it remembers its tactile origin. If you're wondering what I'm reading, I'm wondering if there's a title to this video. Is it just blank up there? Because the only way I know what I'm reading is if I can read the title of this live feed. But I can't see it, so I don't know what I'm reading. The intellect matures when it remembers its tactile origins. Every act of comprehension is an act of union, cognition as embrace. Life's two instincts are not enemies, but partners in creation. Death gives shape to desire. Without it, pleasure would be infinite and thus null. Yeah, I'll read Goodnight Moon tomorrow. If you have 50 friends, subscribe. I'll read Goodnight Moon tomorrow. Eros expands, Thanatos gathers. Together they weave the rhythm of renewal. Repression is the misunderstanding of this rhythm. Culture repeats this misunderstanding in every monument. To reconcile Eros and death is to achieve the wisdom of play. The universe is the body of the sleeping god awakening through sensation. Stars are the eyes of Eros opened across time. Gravity is love remembered by matter. The Milky Way is the trace of the divine body's ecstatic spill. Every planet turns into imitation of desire. Cosmology is the oldest erotic poem disguised as science. Words are the body's extensions, sensual instruments. Language begins as song, the vibration of breath into being. To speak is to give the invisible a texture of sound. Meaning arises from contact, not abstraction. Poetry is the erotic return of speech to its corporeal origin. When the word becomes flesh again, theology ends in laughter. No, I mean, can you read the title of the video? I never said the title of the book. If you can't read the title of the video, then what are you watching? When you go on YouTube Live, is it just people's images coming up with no title to them? The senses revolt against their captivity in perception. They seek communion, not representation. It's called The Divine Transference of Nick Fuentes. That's the name of the book, written and read by me. To see is to touch by light. To hear is to enter by air. The erotic act restores the unity of the senses lost to logic. Mysticism begins where the senses discover their mutual language. When all senses blend, time dissolves, consciousness becomes play. Delight is the body's intuition of eternity. Pleasure is not the enemy of wisdom, but its medium. Every genuine joy carries a metaphysical weight. Pain is delight in disguise, intensity turned inward. Eros transforms suffering into form. Thanatos transforms form into silence. To delight consciously is the philosopher's highest art. All gods are projections of the bodily functions sanctified. The pantheon is a diagram of anatomy divine. The sacred fire, digestion, the ocean, circulation, the wind, breath. To worship is to remember one's physiology cosmically. Theophany occurs when the body recognizes itself in the world. God is the name we give to our own radiant metabolism. The new theology begins where repression ends in the rediscovery of play. Eros is not opposed to reason, but to its mutation. Knowledge must become, again, as form of touch, philosophy a form of dance. The resurrection of the body is not myth, but destiny. When the flesh becomes transparent to spirit and spirit palpable as skin, this circle of ricorso completes itself. Being is the play of the body of God. A divine fart. Yes, a divine fart. That's what heats the earth. It's not the sun. It's an ass that farts that heats the earth. The market is a failed memory of the feast. All exchange is the translation of desire into measure. Gift and purchase are two destinies of the same impulse, to circulate love. Money is repressed libido made visible. Wherever gold accumulates, a god has been buried alive. True wealth is the intensity of play, not the weight of possession. Every festival is Eros' revenge upon utility. To give is to release energy without return, the erotic gesture par excellence. The feast transforms scarcity into rhythm, consumption becomes communion. Sacrifice is the erotic act of giving form to destruction. In festival time, death is danced with, not denied. The sacred fire of the hearth reappears as the collective blaze of celebration. Art is organized waste, beauty as deliberate unprofitability. Every artwork burns a portion of civilization's stored desire. The artist is priest of surplus, transforming libido into luminosity. To create is to spend, to hoard is to forget. A museum is a treasury of sacred ruins, the bones of spent Eros. In the act of creation, the economy is momentarily redeemed. Gift overtakes exchange. Work was once ritual, only later did it become punishment. Labor without play is slavery, play without labor is amnesia. The task of the new economy is not abolition of work, but its eroticization. To labor playfully is to restore the unity of body and tool. Technology must be reincarnated as instrument of delight. The civilization of machines will endure only if it remembers how to dance. Power is the repression of play made institutional. Revolutions fail when they forget their erotic origin. Justice without joy becomes bureaucracy. Joy without justice, farce. The polis will be reborn as a festival or not at all. Equality is fraternity rediscovered through shared delight. Democracy is the play of equals before the sacred fire of the common body. Streets are arteries, plazas, hearts, temples, glands of desire. The architecture of repression builds walls. The architecture of eros builds thresholds. The city becomes just when it remembers its erotic anatomy. Urban renewal must begin in the nervous system. Light, rhythm, touch. The metropolis is a sleeping body awaiting erotic awakenings. When the city dances, history heals. Modernity forgot how to celebrate, it only commemorates. To feast is to declare victory over necessity. Ritual expenditure re-enchants matter, waste becomes revelation. The future cult will be that of abundance shared. In every feast, the gods re-enter the world through the mouths of the living. The final Eucharist of history will be the communal laugh. Time itself is the circulation of eros through form and decay. Each epoch represses what the next must liberate. Ricorso is the raw pulse of history, repression, return, transfiguration. Memory is eros, is secret instrument, the past seducing the present. To repeat with difference is to love again. History is the long rehearsal for the dance of resurrection. Every system of exchange ends in entropy unless renewed by waste. Excess is the heartbeat of life. Scarcity is neurosis. Capital is the anxious imitation of the gift. To spend without fear is to affirm eternity. The saints of the new world will be prodigals. Eros touches the mathematics of loss. Infinity equals expenditure without return. When economies become play and work becomes creation and gift becomes law, the cycle of repression closes in delight. Eros will no longer hide beneath symbols of utility. The world will rediscover itself as body, as feast, as song. The sacred fire will burn again, not as an altar, but as a hearth of shared being. The final stage of civilization is not apocalypse, but ecstasy. Thus, the ricorso of eros, from body to culture to play, is body again. That's the end of part 6. I'll see you guys later.